Hi everyone, my name is Kate Kalthoff and welcome to a Stamping to Share video. Today we are going to create a really pretty card that uses the lovely inside and out bundle found in the 2017-18 annual catalog from Stampin Up. And this is what the card looks like. And you can see we're using some wood texture 6x6 designer series paper to create this cutout. And then we'll do stamping on the actual designer series paper. And then we have some more designer series paper here in the background. The stamp set looks like this, and you can pair it up with these larger words here. They have some great sentiments that will coordinate with those larger words. And then it also, if you get the bundle, includes the lovely words Thinlits. And so this is heart-shaped, oval-shaped, which I'll be using on the card, and then also a circle shape. So let's go ahead and get started recreating this beautiful card. So the first thing that we're going to need, of course, is our base cardstock. This is chocolate chip, and it's 4 1/4 by 11 inches, and then I've scored it at 5 1/2. So I'm just going to fold along the score line and use my bone folder to get a nice crease. The next thing that I'm going to do is put in my inside panel. So I have a piece of Whisper White that's 4 by 5 1/4. And then for the other side, I just took a 1/2 inch strip of coordinating designer series paper so that the inside will coordinate with the outside. And I'll just put this down with some snail. And all we need is one little strip along the top. And we can put that right here on the inside panel of our card, making sure that all 4 borders are nice and even. Then we're just going to set this aside for a minute because at this point we're going to take some designer series paper and work with that. The paper that I'm using in the background of this card is called Petal Garden 6x6 paper stack. This also is in our annual catalog in the 2017-18 edition, and you can see there are lots of beautiful florals in this paper pack. And the one that we are going to be using is right here. So it kind of has this sugar plum background, and I just love it. And so we are going to take that pattern and cut it to 4 by 5 1/4. And then we're going to accent it and put a little strip of ribbon here. And this is our fresh fig ribbon. So I am just going to cut that to size, and then we'll take some Scotch tape and we'll just tape this around. And I don't know, you don't have to be super exact on this, but I would probably put it up, maybe about 1 1/4 inches from the bottom, because we just want our sentiment to look a little bit anchored on this card. We don't want our sentiment just kind of floating. So that's what this ribbon does. And it will stay nice and flat because we want this to be easily mailed. So now we can go ahead and we'll just take some multi-purpose liquid glue and we'll run a little line all the way around, bring the card base back into the picture here, and we're just going to center this in. So with the glue we have a little bit of wiggle room, and we're just going to press that down, give it a good press, and there it is. Now let's talk about our next steps. So the next step is to pick some textured designer series paper from our 6x6 wood texture pack. So as you can see, there are many wood textures that you can choose from. This is a fantastic paper pack, again, available in our 2017-18 annual catalog. And what I did is I looked for kind of a lighter and then a darker, so that I could do some stamping on the little bit of the lighter panel and do my friend cutout on the darker panel. So this is what I did. So let me show you the measurements for that. The first panel that we don't actually cut into but will be layered is a 2 1/2 inch by 4 inch panel of kind of this blonde color. And then our darker panel that we will be layering is 2 1/4 by 3 3/4, and this is what we're going to do our cutout on the Big Shot machine. So let me bring the Big Shot here, actually not the entire Big Shot, but just the sandwich that I used to cut this out. So I started with my magnetic platform, then I have my cut plate, my paper, and then I centered the friend cut out as well as I could, and then I put another plate over the top and ran it through the Big Shot machine. And when you do this and you pull this away, you end up with a friend cutout that looks like this. And this is what we're going to be using on our card. So again, this size right here is 2 1/4 by 3 3/4, and that will be layered on a 2 1/2 by 4 inch panel of paper. So let me go ahead and do that. And to do that, I am actually going to use multi-purpose liquid glue. And I'm just going to add a little glue here all the way around. And then I'm just going to take the glue and just add a little bit to the back here, just so that our friend will stay in place when we put it down. So I'm going to lift it up, flip it over, and center this in. And then we can make sure that the outer edges are nice and even. And then once we have it where we like it, we can press down the center part. And there we have it. Let me bring it up close to the camera so you can see how good that looks. Just fantastic. Now we need to do our stamping. So I'm going to stamp thanks with Fresh Fig. So I'm just opening that up. And I've got my thanks right here. So we'll ink it up. And then we're just going to set that right here at the top of the oval above the friend. So it looks just like this. And now we'll be putting this panel on top of a piece of champagne foil. So the champagne foil, which looks like this, it's kind of hard to see probably because there's a good glare coming, but this was introduced in our holiday 2017 catalog and it carried over. So a lot of people don't realize this. However, you can order it and it comes with 2 12 by 12 sheets and the part number is 144748. And I am using a 2 5/8 by 4 1/8 inch panel because that's going to give me a nice little skinny edge. So to put it on, just going to add a little multi-purpose liquid glue, and then we're going to set this right here and just wiggle that into place, and you can see that just leaves a nice skinny little border all the way around, and it's just pretty. It just adds so much. And now what we're going to do is add some dimensionals to the back. And as you can see, I've gone ahead, I've added 5 dimensionals. So now we're just going to set this in to the lower right corner so that the right and bottom edges are about even. And then we'll press that into place. And our card is complete. It's ready to thank a friend, and you can just drop that in the mail, no extra postage required. And I want to show you too just how awesome this looks when you vary the look a little by using different pieces of the Wood Textures background paper. So here's one, and here is another one. And you can see just how good all of these look. Here's another one. Oh, I think that's the exact same one that I did use. Here's one that's a little bit different. Kind of a white background with a darker friend piece. Here's another one. Here's a little bit darker background with a real dark friend piece. I love the way that looks as well. And here's one that's kind of white. But you can see that the foil in the background looks good with all of these different options, and it even has kind of a rose gold effect because it's picking up some of the color that's in the background of our paper panel here. So here's the card I just did, here's the card I did in advance, and then here are just some of the different ideas that you can do. It's just so much fun, you won't want to stop making them. So there we go, just some different ideas for you. Hope you have a great day. Thank you so much for joining me today. I truly appreciate it that you are a part of my Stamping to Share community. Be sure to subscribe to my blog and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't already to stay in touch with what I'm up to. Hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.